Hello. So I just did a reading on the lessons to learn that the American people or America has to learn from this shutdown. And the next thing I want to do is see what the parties have to learn from it. And I'll try to be quick to do both of them. So the first party I want to look at is the Democratic Party. I want to see how first of all, how they're going to what's their position? Are they going to hold fast? Are they going to cave? What's going to happen with the Democrats? And then we'll ask what the repercussions are for the Republicans. So let's ask what the repercussions are for the Democrats, the challenges and such. Okay, I'm going to use the Connolly deck for this reading. So this is for the Democrats. Okay, we have the Temperance card. And so I feel as though the Temperance card can mean a number of things. Of course, it can temper our actions. This can be a tempering influence on the president. That may be what they're trying to do, which is, I assume is true. They're trying to do that. But temperance or tempering is really putting somebody or something, or in this case, the Democratic Party, through a very severe trial. This is about a severe trial, and when you temper steel, you're making a sword, or the sword of truth, right? Why not? We keep talking about that. we put the metal in the hot coals or in the oven there and melt it, and then we take it out and we pound it, and then we plunge it into a liquid, a cold liquid or a cooler liquid, of course, cooler than like molten steel, right? And so this process goes us over and over again, and what it does is it creates strength. And so this is a way for the Democrats to show their strength, to show their resolve. So that's the immediate environment. Let's see what's crossing that. Okay, we have the Three of Pentacles that are crossing that, and I do see this as there are people in power that want to sort of break this. They want to. They're using the loss of money and the loss of resources, and this could be resources for the government workers, because we can see that this guy here, up here, is he's a young apprentice, but he's a worker. He's obviously a worker, and so the challenge is the loss of money to the workers. Let's see what's at the root of this. We have the High Priestess here, and to a certain extent, I feel as though this is Nancy Pelosi. And the High Priestess is a wise card, and the High Priestess doesn't say much, but the High Priestess sees the bigger picture. And so I think that there is a bigger picture there. I think probably Nancy Pelosi is aware of it. We're not, perhaps, privy to that. But there is a silent strength here. It's almost like the woman is putting her foot down. See what's in the past. The Three of Swords. This is a card of sorrow and suffering. And so the Democrats have suffered. The Democrats have suffered. But ultimately, their suffering has created a sense of understanding about why they were suffering. And there's a freedom to that. Let's see what's in the sky. Okay, delay, waiting. So there doesn't seem to be a resolution at this point. They're just sort of resting from their toils. And this card is often about pruning the unnecessary. And so that could possibly be part of the, I don't know if it's part of the plan or if it's just a result of the situation is that the idea of cutting away the extraneous in order for the plant to grow, in order for the country to grow. Immediate future, okay, going on a new path, a leap of faith. So this is definitely a new path for them. So they generally acquiesce, and so I feel like they're not going to acquiesce anytime soon. How it's seen from the outside, chaos, really chaotic. It's seen as a chaotic situation. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of information out there, but none of it is necessarily organized. But this could be new information coming. So there's a sense of not all the information is in. Now that's how people from the outside see it, which I think is true. There's not all the information isn't there. The domestic situation is the Ace of Pentacles. This is sort of starting at ground zero. This is starting a new cycle of manifestation. And so that's very interesting that this is not a negative card for the domestic situation, although you might think that it would be because of the shutdown, but it's not. But it's about beginnings. It's about starting. Hopes and fears. Hopes and fears is that they take control, right? Is that they can take control of the situation. Of course, that's what I think. The outcome is the Two of Wands, and so there is something coming. There is a information coming from abroad. I would say there's information coming from abroad or about something from abroad. Let's see what that's about. See if we can get a major arcana. We get the Page of Cups. We get the Knight of Wands. Page of Cups is messages. Knight of Wands is going on a quest or an adventure. The Eight of Cups, that's often seen as, in many readings, as Trump leaving. Let's see what's underneath. King of Cups. So, I don't know if this is their intention, but I do believe that this could rush or this could push forward the whole Russia investigation to sort of, and I don't believe that this is a conscious. We're going to stand our ground until the stuff about Russia comes out. I feel like they have to stand their ground because they feel they need to temper the president. But I think as a result of that, information on the whole Russia connection is going to come out. And it might come out a little bit sooner than later because of the pressure being applied to the people and from the people that they want an answer. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do other Republicans now. Okay, it was 8 minutes. That's not too bad. And let's see what the results or what's up with the Republicans in this situation. Where are they standing in all of this? Very interesting reading, right? You never know what's going to come up. You have ideas in your head, but they don't always show themselves. I try to keep the ideas out of my head. Because you do have, to a certain extent, you do have some influence over the cards, especially if you've worked with them for a long time. They kind of become an extension of you in a way, and sometimes it's very hard to get perspective. That's why I love, listening to Revealing Light and Marianne from Revealing Light and. Tower from Down Under. Oh my God, I just had a brain fart. I can't remember her first name. Oh my God, I can see her glasses. Dark hair. Sorry about that. But I like to watch them because they have more perspective in a way because they're not here. They're not in the middle of it. It's really hard when you're in the middle to have any perspective. Okay. Lena Rodriguez, sister. Okay, let's see. This is the Republicans. Okay, so we have the Knight of Wands. So they are on some sort of journey, some sort of quest. So they're on a quest, but it is a knight, and so knights are generally not all that bright. Sometimes they are not as experienced, say, as a king. So they can tend to sort of make mistakes, and but they have this. So there's the sense of righteousness. We have a sense of righteousness here. Let's see what's crossing that. Okay, we have the World card. Now the World card is okay. It could be the world. The worlds are saying, "Hey guys, you guys, a bunch of nuts. What are you doing?" But the World card is about endings. And I feel like they know that their time is coming to an end. I really feel that, and so it's almost like this is like a last ditch effort to, and I almost feel like it's a in their eyes, maybe it's a little bit of a call to the future, like they're not thinking about right now, but they're thinking about how they can sort of take the best parts of themselves and go on the road, so to speak. All right, let's see what else. What's at the root of this? Okay, we have the 10 of Cups. So this is generally a happiness card and all that stuff. But this card is associated with the sign of Pisces. And Pisces can be very illusional and delusional. So there is this sense of illusion and delusion with this card, and oftentimes this card is seen as I know Lena sees this as the Republican Party, and 2.3 children, and the perfect America that's white and male dominated, and all the rest. So there's an illusionary quality. It's interesting because the Republican Party just had their Neptune return. I think it was last year. And when Neptune returns to a chart, Neptune spends 165 years to go around the zodiac. So people don't have their Neptune return, but organizations can, and countries can have their Neptune return. And Neptune it's a strange energy. It's an energy where you can sort of it's a lot of smoke and mirrors with Neptune, but there's also a spiritual energy to it, and it's very possible. I don't know really I know that it's considered the party of Lincoln, and there was a time when the Republicans were the more humanitarian party. And so I think its roots were, but as it proceeded through its, cycle of Neptune, it's turned into the party of smoke and mirrors, and delusion and illusion, and, stealing. And just, since Reagan, really, I've been around long enough, so I remember Reagan, and I remember warning everybody that it was the beginning of the end, but nobody listens because I've had many lifetimes where I was a Cassandra. My husband says, he calls me by my Indian name, Sky is Falling. So I do have a tendency to see that, but, nobody listens. But with people, I guess people are listening now. Let's see what's in the past. Okay, in the past we had Illumination. This was them in power. This was them, sort of at the top of their game. Yeah. Okay. The glories of the past. Let's see what's in the sky. This is action, and this is another night, but this is disruptive actions. This is often seen as, I often see this as Trump. When I don't see him as a page, I see him as this guy. But there is this is an 8 vibration actually in the numerology that I use, and so this is as you sow, so shall you reap. So they will reap the rewards of what they've sown. So they're looking to get out of this with the least amount of damages they can. They want to retreat. They want to retreat from this whole thing. They want to retreat from this whole thing. But, McConnell is, I think the majority of Republicans want to get the hell out of this mess. But McConnell is not putting it up, and he's sticking with the president, and so they're kind of between a rock and a hard place. How this is seen from the outside is seen as Trump's party with his red MAGA hat, legs spread open, licentious guy that he is, and arms over his solar plexus, which whenever he feels stressed, he does this. This is how he sits. Then you know he's feeling attacked when he does that. Okay, let's see. Domestic situation. It's a mess. It's a mess. A lot of emotional ups and downs. People are really upset. Hopes and fears that they can hold power. Good luck. Outcome. Trying to balance things while there's a lot of emotional tumult in the back. We can see that. They're trying to balance things. They are trying to come to some sort of agreement. They do want to do that. The Republicans definitely want to do that. Let's see if we can get a major arcana. Dirty tricks. Yeah, we know about that. Oh boy. Destitution. Doesn't look good for them. And the Trump leaving card. Again. Wow, that's interesting. Well, that could be a way to get them out of this mess. And let's see what's at the bottom of this. Divine discontent. So they are not happy with the situation they're in. They would rather not be in it, but this is as my grandmother might have said, you made your bed, now you have to lie in it. I don't think my grandmother would have ever said that, but somebody's grandmother did. So, things, it's interesting because they're stuck. The Democrats are being tested, but the Republicans are stuck because they're stuck with the president that they backed. And this is the situation they find themselves in. So if you think, they're pretty miserable right now. They're really not happy. Good. Sorry, did I say that? All right. I'm going to do one more reading about this, and it's about the workers. So I will be back with that. I hope you enjoyed this. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you again in a few minutes. Bye.